Welcome back to the B stream. A little bit of 40 Lions and Flea bringing you another knockout game. It's going to be BUKSTER versus KELTZ. Flea, hit him with the facts.
Dude, the facts. I only just walked up here from the A stream with zero time to prepare.
There's
Those
no time.
are the
There's
facts.
no time. We have to go. We have to go.
Of course, we've got some facts. So just looking back at how these players, they've only met each other during the Challengers qualifiers, right? That was the first time that they met. BUKSTER won. Then they also played each other yesterday in the group stage. BUKSTER won again. So far, BUKSTER's really been getting the upper leg over his opponent. Now, as you mentioned, this is a knockout match, right? BUKSTER and KELTZ both have already lost a match. KELTZ lost to Wenger earlier today, and then of course BUKSTER lost to Strong Sage. So whoever loses is out of the tournament. We've already seen one Swede leave us. Tox, unfortunately, is no longer with us. I mean, he's just walking around over there.
He's
but,
still here. He's
still here, right? But he's no longer part of the tournament.
Unfortunate. And again, B stream, no frills. Pick bans are going to be as follows: Blood Covenant, it's going to be Nyx for KELTZ. BUKSTER has Athena, and we're going to jump right into map number 1, and we're going to start off with KELTZ POV right now. Grabbing some item control here. BUKSTER moving his way with a huge rocket replied to with a rail from KELTZ. But that fight over the heavy, and there's the Ghost Walk immediately. And oh my god, are they going to actually collide? A little bit of damage there. 41 HP. KELTZ with the huge frag first. 20 seconds in on Blood Covenant with the lights. That's some fast-paced action for you.
This is refreshing, 40. I'm coming from the A stream, and all of the previous games that I've casted have been super cagey.
Yeah, what is this?
What
is this tactical Quake? What kind of game is this? Yeah, let's get some bloodbaths going.
Yeah. There's other games for that if you just want to hold down crouch and look at corners. No, this is what we want. KELTZ, one frag up already. He is no doubt out for revenge, right? He wants to secure the win after losing to BUKSTER yesterday, and BUKSTER nearly tying it up, probably still will, and indeed he does. KELTZ unable to...
Oh, the read! That was gorgeous, and this is going to be an easy one right here. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh my god, the Plasma Flea.
Easy, quote-unquote.
All right.
All right. He survived. He survived, we can say that much, but BUKSTER now slowly starting to restack. Mega is going to be spawning shortly.
BUKSTER's rockets are pretty damn good.
That read was sick, 40, and now still applying pressure, but it is KELTZ who will walk away with the Mega.
Yeah, I love the reads from BUKSTER. Great prediction rockets here. Needs to get a little bit of armor. It might be a little bit risky to try and play on this heavy, but he's going to push just a little bit, eats a tickle, and he says, you know what, I need to disengage and kind of rethink the strategy of attack here. There's the rocket jump up, misses with the rail, and knowing that that rocket jump for Nyx was already going to cost a little bit of stack, that would have been a big rail to hit. Unfortunately, does not connect.
Sizable delay between the items, though. Let's see if BUKSTER is able to turn this into full control. He secured Mega. Now he's looking over towards Heavy. But KELTZ is in position to stop his advance. Right here, KELTZ setting up near rockets. BUKSTER sneaking around the corner. Oh, KELTZ knew exactly where he was at. Misses the rail, though.
What?
Oh, BUKSTER is playing this as 100 miles an hour, 40. He's just hooking, sliding, and zipping into the room.
Just without a care in the world. Just excuse me, I have an item to take. Let me get past you real quick. I think it does go to KELTZ. As BUKSTER uses one of the hooks to get back up on the bridge, and that's a great angle right there, KELTZ. Fantastic damage. Seeing the shoulder and the cutoff in LG. There's a little bit of hook, and somehow BUKSTER turns that around. And the cutoff, the read from KELTZ was fine, but BUKSTER says, I'm going to hook you and rocket you, and that's the end of that.
Not something you see every day, right? Getting damage off the hook, that's pretty rare, but BUKSTER, so confident. Just using it mid-fight, close quarters as well. And in doing so, he's expanded his lead. 2 frags ahead of his opponent. And now he's stealing KELTZ's spot from earlier. Oh,
again,
biting another behind,
rail.
though.
Yeah, eating another rail. KELTZ is good at that angle, but yeah, BUKSTER wanted to steal that idea and be like, you know what, I can set this trap too.
Doing so, BUKSTER giving up the heavy. Taking a look at the item pickups, pretty balanced. 7 for BUKSTER. Make that 8 versus 6 for KELTZ, but the damage is definitely favoring KELTZ.
BUKSTER trying to play silent and off the sound here as KELTZ has better positioning, has the high ground, takes the jump pad up to the rockets, and BUKSTER's going to be able to hook back onto the mid ground. Heavy's going to be up first, and BUKSTER doesn't look like he wants to deal any damage necessarily on the exit. He just wants position on his next Mega, and items will be traded. Is BUKSTER looking for this exit rail?
Ooh! How did KELTZ end up being the one who landed that shot?
I don't know.
I think he kind of got a wall jump off, no? Got a little bit of extra height, and so he jumped kind of over where BUKSTER's crosshair was positioned and landed the shot himself. This has been great from KELTZ. Taking a look at the accuracy. 50% railgun accuracy for KELTZ versus just 16 for BUKSTER. That would make quite a bit of difference, but still, somehow it's BUKSTER in the lead.
Yeah. If the rail turns up, it could be even worse. KELTZ needs to figure out a way to get back into this as we're nearing the halfway point. Only trailing by 2. It needs a little bit more. And yeah, BUKSTER, the rail struggling, but everything else seems to be on point. At least enough to maintain this 2-point lead for at least another cycle. Got the position on the Heavy. Okay, KELTZ has some predictive rockets as well. BUKSTER got away with one there as he didn't take complete just decimation damage on that one, but items traded again, it looks like, from the players.
You felt the panic in the mouse movements there. He just peeks around the corner and he sees 2 rockets flying straight at his face. Managed to escape, very little damage taken. And now we're out at a bit of a stalemate, right? So BUKSTER is making excellent use of the Athena hooks, constantly repositioning, no longer using them to be aggressive or to apply pressure, but just to kind of always stay a little bit outside of KELTZ's reach. Now there's still quite a lot of time left, so he definitely can't go full defensive just yet. But I think it's clear that BUKSTER switched to a much more defensive playstyle, and 40. I don't think you casted this one with me, but this was the very first map that I casted for the World Championships. KELTZ versus BUKSTER on this map, and BUKSTER won by being hyper defensive with a 2-frag lead. So and is history going to repeat itself?
Seems comfortable, so that makes sense. He's like, I've done this before, let me try this again. And a good rail here, might get another one. The Ghost Walk, gonna be a little aggressive here. Timed it pretty well, but BUKSTER's just ready for it. KELTZ eating a lot of LG. BUKSTER comes out of that one. Pretty good stack, almost about even. Now it's just a matter of, again, BUKSTER dictating the pace. What item do I want? That rail again missing from KELTZ, just barely, unfortunately. Needs a little bit more damage. Here's the trap in the LG, and that is melted down there. Nice play from BUKSTER to add on.
Beautiful.
3 to the lead.
Glued his shaft to KELTZ's forehead to
People
walk
pay
away.
good money for that, I'm
people
sure,
do
on the
pay
internet.
good money, but
You absolute
Hey.
degens, but yes.
This time around, I don't think KELTZ was all too happy to be on the receiving end of that.
No, this isn't what we talked about. It's probably what Gore to himself. But that rocket again! Oh, my Oh, bucket time. Bucket. I think it's bucket time. Maybe BUKSTER time, as he's up by 4 right now. Something
man.
about the BUKSTER stops here, Flea. I'm not sure. I can't stop. I've had too much caffeine. But a 4-frag lead, 3 minutes remaining. And BUKSTER wants a little bit more, a little bit of a tickle on the exit. The tri-bolt is absolutely perfect, but he actually preemptively aimed the rail, and because KELTZ ran into the wall, he missed the rail, and that is fortunate for KELTZ.
Please get me back on A-Stream. This is a cry for help.
Well, welcome to the basement. This is where I thrive.
Now Mega does go in favor of BUKSTER. And he's also doing an excellent job by continuously using his hooks and then going for the hourglasses, right? And doing so, he makes it a lot more difficult for KELTZ to have that Ghost Walk available, because that's really Nyx's bread and butter. Like, that is what she always wants to have available before committing. And by the way that BUKSTER is playing, he's making a lot more difficult for KELTZ to have that ability at the ready when he needs it.
KELTZ doesn't have anywhere to go. Finally pops the Ghost Walk, but doesn't even really have stack to kind of stick around and deal damage, so he has to disengage. And again, BUKSTER, he's really missing these rails, but still coming out on top with the frags. But imagine if he was hitting these rails, Flea. This scoreline would be even more lopsided.
I mean, if you're 2 minutes left on a map like this, you're KELTZ, and you need to use your Ghost Walk defensively just to escape when you're 4 frags down, there's few signs more obvious of a GG than that. Now, of course, he could still mount the comeback, but this is seeming extremely unlikely by now, especially with BUKSTER starting to land some of those rails.
For a minute 30, I don't even think rail needs to come into play. BUKSTER can just play rockets around the corner and play defensive, and just like that, he's going to post up on the doorway, play around the sound of KELTZ. Tri-bolt lobbed just in case he was in the stairwell, but this is all BUKSTER right now. KELTZ has to make the move, and BUKSTER again suffering from missing these rails. KELTZ can't capitalize for it.
No, he cannot. There's absolutely nowhere to run, no angle of attack. Should be BUKSTER securing map 1 quite convincingly so as well. For you had to pick some bans. What follows?
It looks like we're going to be heading into Awoken. It's going to be Strog for KELTZ and Ranger for BUKSTER. If KELTZ can clap back and send us to a third, we're going to go to Corrupted Keep. It's going to be DK versus Visor. I know you're trying to decipher my chicken scratch. I'm sorry. I write like a child. I don't know what to tell you.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, BUKSTER won Blood Covenant. It's the first time that they played yesterday, and then they went straight into Corrupted Keep, which BUKSTER won again. So this time they're kind of changing up the order a bit. As you said that we are going to have Awoken for our second map.
Oh no. I thought he was going to get stuck on the jump pad. That was going to be a bad time. I mean, technically this whole map was a bad time for KELTZ, as he never really got his footing, even though Nyx does have feet. So 10 seconds left until this is officially over. And then KELTZ is going to be... His back is against the wall is what I'm trying to tell you, Flea. This is do or die. It's a knockout game. BUKSTER looks really strong. And in terms of the matchup, Strog versus Ranger, who do you give it to? KELTZ again on the Strog. We got Ranger for BUKSTER, and we're going into Awoken. Do you favor any certain champ?
I mean, they're both staple picks for Awoken, right? Strog is extremely powerful. There is a railgun at play, so that can really help. Was it Strog played by BUKSTER?
KELTZ.
By KELTZ. Okay. Thing is that BUKSTER, his rail has been disappointing to say the least, so that is not going to help him out all that much unless he can really make things happen and change things up for map 2. Oof, I would honestly say that I would give it to BUKSTER still. Yeah, I think that BUKSTER is going to clean this one up 2-0.
He's looking really strong. I mean, at this point, based on that first map, it's his to lose. So if KELTZ can work some magic, great. Like I said, the control was good, the positioning was good from BUKSTER, and if he starts chaining together rails, that score would have been even worse for KELTZ. So
yeah.
Pressure's on KELTZ. Tournament life on the line here. Again, a knockout game, already down one map, and we'll see what he could pull together. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a long day of Quake. We still have a lot more to go, I think, both on the B and A stream. And it's a pleasure to get to cast with you. I think it's the first one that we've had so far. I don't know. I blacked out like 3 hours ago. So I have no idea. I have no idea.
I mean, we looked at the schedule for today, and we noticed that we were on together like, what, 6, 7 matches?
And then they were like, we can't have the power couple that many times. And so
talked to 04, and he was just like, guys, like someone made a mistake putting you guys together. 6 matches of the day. Things are gonna get out of hand real quick. So they separated us, and I've been casting with Lethal, with Ketchup, with ZSX, with all the lads, really. But now, the B stream, right? Yeah. No constraints, baby.
No, this is the basement right now. We can do whatever we want. We love it here. As we're getting ready for map number 2, potentially the last map for KELTZ. If you're a KELTZ fan, you hope not, but that's all in his hands for the next 10 minutes, and we'll see exactly what he could bring to the table. Again, rocking the Strog against Ranger. And we will see as we are getting into it right now, live on map number 2, starting off on KELTZ.
Let's see, KELTZ gonna get a railgun spawn. Both items taken at the same time. KELTZ lacking the LG. It's a critical weapon that he still wants to get a hold of. Same thing for BUKSTER though. BUKSTER doesn't have a rail. Both players trying to deny the other. Nice. 1, 2. KELTZ, can he push in? I mean, KELTZ trying to deny the railgun may not even be necessary if BUKSTER keeps it up like last game. There we go. Big rockets after that orb. KELTZ manages to escape. That could have gone so wrong for
I was going to say, do you consider that a misplay? The heavy was up. He hit 2 rails instead of pushing for the item. He kind of tried to do the peeker play. He gave up position. He gave up the item. He took a lot of damage. I don't know. I feel like that's a big setback for KELTZ after what he did.
It is. It is. I think he got off to a really good start. It could have turned out differently, but you've always got to keep in mind the orb, right? It's such a classic counterplay to the peeker, right? You throw out the peeker, orb straight on past you, ends up right next to your defenseless body, and just like that, it all goes wrong. Now KELTZ still able to stay alive. BUKSTER definitely the one not pulling his punches, but unable to secure the frag.
Things considered still 0-0. Yeah, not too bad here. KELTZ has position here, needs to be careful not to drop down. A little bit of rocket exchange from both players here. We're going to whip out the rail. Can he find the shot is the question. Look at that, dancing all day. BUKSTER can't land one again. Finally lands one, but there's a reply from KELTZ. And BUKSTER wants this armor. A little bit of a tickle is going to push KELTZ back. And the rocket jump up to cut off. And the peeker play pushes up against the wall. Here's the dire orb, but KELTZ comes out on top, and BUKSTER That one's a bit of a fumble there, and then he takes a rail off the spawn. KELTZ is going to be able to grab the Mega and push off of this as the items are split fairly large between each other. And oh no, he's going to get stuck. He doesn't have Dire Orb.
This is not the place that BUKSTER wants to be. Luckily for him, though, none of those rockets really connecting. KELTZ actually giving him quite a lifeline. Might even be able to pick up heavy. Oh, KELTZ!
Wow.
40, how did that go so wrong? Everything was going in his favor. BUKSTER was in such a bad spot, but then he fires off like, what, 6, 7 rockets without doing a shred of damage, and then BUKSTER continuously chips away at him with the LG, and before you know it, having machine gun is enough to clean it up.
In a blink of an eye, this has just gone from pretty okay to horrible for KELTZ right now. Oh no, that's a major combo from BUKSTER.
Yep.
Well played there, completely decimating KELTZ with the burst. Dire Orb, rocket, everything. Throw in the kitchen sink at him, Flea.
I feel like KELTZ just seems like a little overwhelmed by the options that the orb gives. You know, going up the bounce path, you don't expect your opponent, right, to just immediately be back in your face. You expect them to fly nicely in a set trajectory, but no. The orb changes all of that, and KELTZ just doesn't seem quite ready and prepared to deal with that.
Playing nice and slow, now wants to maintain this control in the T-Con. Take some chip damage, take some fights, and deny armors there as we see that rocket jump before the heavy there. Ooh, that rocket just right above his shoulder. Just what was that? Right back in, and there it is, the Dire Orb across from the Peeker to get by, and oh, could be really bad. Instead, just a rail. That could be enough to actually get the frag here. KELTZ needs to be careful. He's going to corner himself. The heavy's not up, and BUKSTER was looking for the wrong angle. Lets him escape.
I feel like for the past few minutes, 40, the Peeker has done more bad than good for KELTZ.
It's just not working out the way that he wants.
Every time he uses it, it just allows him to get punished more and more. Oh, BUKSTER! He had the angle, looks away at just the very last moment that KELTZ shows his face and actually lands a rail of his own.
The absolute item control from BUKSTER. 7 heavies, 6 megas to 1 and 2 for KELTZ. And the fact that this is a 1-frag game, just I don't know how KELTZ is keeping himself here. I think BUKSTER's playing a little bit defensive, to be honest. He could really push the advantage a little more. Up the T-Con he goes, and maybe rockets like that are the reason that KELTZ is even here. And finally, with the rail chain behind that, he has the pressure that he can apply. He's going to chase through the banana just a little bit to buy some space. The heavy armor is up, but BUKSTER reluctant to go after it. So both items up, and now it's up to KELTZ to try and... Oh yeah, there's the cutoff. There's the Dire Orb, so no resources for BUKSTER. He's already taken the good ones from here, and this should be an easy frag. There's the rail. The Peeker comes in. It's only a matter of time. Dealt with nicely with the rail at the last second. KELTZ, no armor. Does need to be careful. He's going to churn around the corner with Shoddy Pippin, but still can't find that tying frag.
DT is unable to, but, you know, based on the control, keeping it a 1-frag game is actually pretty admirable, right? This could have been a very different scoreline already, but no, KELTZ trailing by just 1 frag, and he came so close to cleaning up. Oh, BUKSTER blindsided completely. 11 points of health. 1 shot will do it. Good use of the orb, but does it only delay the inevitable? Can BUKSTER get out? That small armor down there was so appealing, but he knew better than to go for it.
Oh man, that rail. Deals with the Peeker again, and is BUKSTER really going to stack back up right now? That's insane that he survived that, Flea. KELTZ has to be kicking himself, but he also has to focus. He only has 4 minutes left to get this tying frag. He's going to dive in on the Mega. It was all a lie. BUKSTER gets caught out, but still alive somehow with 12 HP.
I'm just going to go over there and say something to him directly. If BUKSTER keeps jumping out of banana blindly into the LG from KELTZ on Mega, like this is what, the 3rd time that has happened? BUKSTER, this is not working. No more blindly jumping around the corner in this exact position. Still in the lead though. BUKSTER still looking good. Definitely the one closer to advancing than his opponent, significantly so. But that stack. KELTZ stacked to the teeth. I think that Peeker is going to be more about information than anything else. knowing where BUKSTER was last seen, the T, the center area of the map near that small armor.
BUKSTER doing a good job of negating really any opportunity for damage. I mean, KELTZ has had some rail opportunities, but can't capitalize. The stack is fantastic, but just like that, BUKSTER to line up the rail, playing very patiently, not making any crazy sudden movements here. Again, missing with that rail, unfortunately, but still has the Dire Orb in hand, has a decent enough stack. He's just trying to waste some time. My fear is that he's going to waste time and then give KELTZ the frag at the worst time with 30 seconds left, and then you're stuck in this position, and that's what happens when you play too defensive too early. You're giving up the map.
Yep.
He needs to still show up on some of these items and deal some damage.
I mean, it's the internal, you know, balance to strike, right? When you're in this situation, how do you approach it? Do you just run for it and give up the map entirely to your opponent? That's incredibly risky, so you have to keep showing your face, you have to keep applying pressure, but in doing so, you're also opening yourself up to damage in turn. And given that Strog is generally a faster champion than Ranger, that could prove to be an issue. 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go. BUKSTER strategically setting himself up towards heavy. Decent rocket. Nice rail as well. This is so good for BUKSTER. Player from Latvia. Holding down the high ground. Oh, there comes... Oh! BUKSTER!
Wow! KELTZ played that so well. He used the peeker almost as bait, immediately canceling after baiting out the Dire Orb and knowing he finally dropped. BUKSTER that whole time was playing so defensive, didn't want to give him a fair fight, and got one. And KELTZ capitalized off of that, and that was such a good play. And now we're tied at 2 with 1:05 left.
It was a good play, but it was also a misplay by BUKSTER.
Yeah,
he absolutely did not have to drop down for that one. Like, I understand the urge to go for it and to clean up.
Greedy.
Yeah, greedy, reckless, yeah, no matter how you want to put it. Here we go. A mistake was made. BUKSTER now, not a lot of stack to work with. Mega up in just a second, should be able to take it, but he's got to be careful because, oh, he's still railable, I knew it.
I don't understand, he kind of paused. I think he thought that maybe if he moved forward, he was aiming at the Mega, but he flirted with death, and now KELTZ has the 1 frag lead with 30 seconds, and BUKSTER takes another rail, and all the pressure's on him. He's got Dire Orb, he's got LG, he took the shard, and time is ticking. He's got to find KELTZ.
Could have just orbed on it. 40, he could have just
Now's not the time for that play. There's no time for that.
There is no time. 15 seconds. LG on LG. BUKSTER will drop down, and that is going to seal the deal. GG will be called by BUKSTER as we are bringing it to the final map. Corrupted Keep. Death Knight versus Visor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, man. I wish we had highlights because... I mean, I love
just want
BUKSTER.
to point out all the mistakes.
I love BUKSTER, but that final minute or two, there were a lot of mistakes made, right? Starting with that orb down, right? KELTZ using the peeker, like you said, brilliant to use as bait, but why? Why? He could have walked away, switched to super shot, he switched to railgun, taken out the peeker, held on to the high ground, and just continued it like that. He didn't have to orb down and hope for the best. And then also showing his face at Mega when he was so clearly railable. 83 points of stack combined. You need at least 90 to survive a rail. And no, he could have orbed on it. Could have walked away. Could have gone for a small health bubble near Banana. But nope. Just kind of hesitating. Walking on there. And it proved to be fatal.
He's got to be shaking his head right now because he had it, and I think I know what he wanted to do with that Dire Orb. Dire Orb around the peeker and then just do quick damage with shotgun. You have a 2 frag lead. That's it. That's the game. But KELTZ, I feel like he knows that. Pop the peeker. He's like, you're going to use the orb to try and get around it. I'm going to quick cancel, and he landed the shots. But yes, that Mega play, that stutter step that cost him everything. Railable, again, you need to take at least, you need to have at least 91 to get the stack and make sure that you can survive the rail, and KELTZ hit the clutch rail when he needed to. I don't know, we're going to map number 3, so if you love Quake, who cares, we all win. But one of these players, unfortunately, is going to become spectator, and it's going to happen in about 10 minutes here. So like we said, Corrupted Keep, Death Knight versus Visor. In terms of champ picks, who do you favor?
Death Knight versus Visor on Corrupted Keep.
I feel like it's pretty one-sided, but I don't know.
I got to say Death Knight.
That's why I'm saying, like, Well, the visor pick, can you explain that to me? You're the analyst. You tell me what
Shit,
I'm saying.
I would love to see the full picks and bans because I don't know what was still available right now. But it feels like
you
there's
probably have Keel. I'm just saying that. Anyways, it doesn't matter. We're in to map number 3. It's live. A lot of nail
Keel,
damage.
Doom, Anarchy. There's a lot of options.
There were options, but now there's no option other than to win if you want to keep playing in this tournament. So BUKSTER had a little bit of damage right off the bat. He's going to get a little machine gun, but he wants some rockets here. Make that a lot of machine gun. 30 damage, and wow, just strafing right out. KELTZ, no fear, really.
None whatsoever. I also think he's got less to be afraid of, given the champion matchups. Here we go, walks away with the Mega. Oh, BUKSTER somehow still ends up in the flames. Luckily for him, those 2 health bubbles were still there, because otherwise that could have been problematic. But here we go, KELTZ immediately ready to reapply that pressure. Gets caught by a nice little float there, though. Momentum killed by the LG. Oh, big rocket from BUKSTER. Looked like a direct at first, only 50 damage in the end, but still enough to buy him the space he needs to go for Mega.
Using that vision, trying to get that LG, and just KELTZ is so good with the reads, hearing him down below. A little bit of free fire with the rockets. BUKSTER 81 HP, needs to be careful. Does grab a bubble to get back to 100, but he wants some armor right now. KELTZ doing a good job of controlling those. BUKSTER has to wait for this red armor. Excuse me, armor in the red room. There is no red armor in this game, fully, unfortunately, as all the old heads freak out and smash their desks and say, it's different now and I hate it.
Red armor is 25 seconds for a respawn.
Back
40.
in my day, we used to have to do math. Let's go outside, touch some grass.
We strafe jump up the hill every
in
side.
the snow.
Oh goodness, both ways to and back from school. But here we go, still 0-0, but probably not for much longer if KELTZ has anything to say about it. That small armor spawned at just the right time for BUKSTER to stay alive. But he cannot start setting up for heavy just yet. First he needs some health, another small armor. This is actually really good for BUKSTER that KELTZ is letting him rebuild his stack like this. Perhaps a bit too passive from the Sweet right there.
Potentially, yeah. No heavy yet for BUKSTER. 2 megas, 6 lights. The item control firmly in KELTZ's grasp, but no frag on the board. And we've seen that a lot throughout this series, where item control is lopsided, but they can't capitalize. They can't push in. The defense has been too strong from the opponent.
BUKSTER's damage indeed has been extremely solid. And that is despite playing Visor, so he doesn't really have anything in terms of mobility or damage dealing ability to use. Nice.
Good God. He's just taking it to the face. Please stop, KELTZ. Don't do it. You don't need to do this.
I feel like I'm watching like one of the scenes in Rocky where he's just using a shield. His face as a shield. Just it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit.
Oh, God.
And keep going. That's how KELTZ approached that one.
I didn't hear no bell. BUKSTER will finally get in on a heavy. Opportunity here as he's got a nice armor stack to work with. Also has the vision to pop, lay a trap. Knows exactly where KELTZ is, but what's the play off the back of that? Mega's going to be the next item up. BUKSTER maintaining position, just waiting. A little bit of tri-bolt again, and KELTZ gives it a little bit of hop. Are you still there? Okay, I'm out.
300 points of damage with tri-bolt alone. Nearly his best weapon so far. Only LG has done slightly more damage than BUKSTER has. I was expecting KELTZ to maybe go for it after Toxic's display of tri-bolts during the regular season a few weeks back. Maybe it was something, you know, running in his Swedish blood, but no.
The Swedish secret?
Yeah, the Swedish secret sauce on those chatbular. Here we go, good LG coming out. This might be the first frag. BUKSTER, can he clean it up? Indeed, he can. Mega will be his prize. Now we can just start running this rotation between Mega and Heavy.
For Corrupted Keep, that first frag was extremely late, in my opinion. I mean, late in the game. It's almost halfway through, and now it's going to be the second one as the machine gun tears through KELTZ. Decent damage. But can he jump back into the fray before this Mega comes up and make it worthwhile? BUKSTER, decent position here. A little bit of rocket spam coming out. That might actually force BUKSTER off. Is he going to drop for this? It's going to be risky to try and steal that away, but instead just dealing decent damage after the pickup. Needs to be careful. He needs to stay alive so he can go grab the heavy and finally disengages. Took too much damage, and KELTZ now just perfect positioning, good damage to take over the map.
Got himself the heavy. Oh, that's a good amount of LG damage, but the flames offer no reprieve, and BUKSTER unable to make it onto one of the health bubbles. Gets shut down, and now KELTZ breathing down his neck. Just one frag separating the two, and he's got the stack advantage as well. Still has to remain careful. Yes, he's got the flame strike, but it's not available right now, and you can't just blindly push through those choke points. Oh, that was actually very good use of the piercing sight.
Wow, but that LG from KELTZ was just straight up Elmer's. He needs to be careful. 88 HP. He's going to grab this light armor, and the Mega's not going to be up for 10 seconds. He also has flame strike, but yeah, great use of the vision, but you just saw the LG beating you like there was nothing he could do. Poor BUKSTER.
Because KELTZ faked a rocket jump, right? He went up, he didn't sit himself on top of the perch, just dropped right back down and tried to go into the doorway, but BUKSTER saw right through that, literally by using the piercing sight, so good use of the ability, but indeed the LG ultimately reigns supreme. Now we're all tied up. 4 minutes left on the clock. KELTZ with a stack advantage, weapon advantage, positional advantage. He's late for Mega. He's late for Mega. Oh no. Oh no. He can't even rocket jump out. Ooh, clever. He didn't have enough health to rocket jump, but he sure had enough to go for a little plasma boost up the stairs. I'm surprised that BUKSTER again is allowing them to do this.
I mean, I'm sure he's like, where did you go and how? But yeah, that was just, it had to be pixel perfect. If he would have dropped, he would have been absolutely dead, and he still might be. He does steal the light armor, 13 HP, and BUKSTER finally traps him, but KELTZ making him work so incredibly hard for it. Does he delay long enough to grab the Mega? Unfortunately not. He spawns in the red room to grab the light armor, and BUKSTER takes over the Mega again to make the rotation in time back to heavy. A lot of plasma coming out. Shotgun flame strike. Oh boy. That's going to be a lot of damage, just enough to get him the heavy. But after all of that, let's see. Oh my god, he went through the telly shotgun on shotgun, and KELTZ comes out on top to tie it at 3. That got a little sloppy for you.
That was more than just a little sloppy 40. I'm surprised that BUKSTER even went for that. Like, why would he make a push for it?
Because why not?
On the heavy.
Because there's no fear in the arena.
I mean, I feel like he could have just turned around and left, right? Once it became clear that KELTZ was doing most of the damage at the better position, but no.
Something's happened.
Something is happening on the A stream. We don't know what it is.
Nobody tell us. No spoilers. 3-3. 2 minutes 15 remaining. And again, this is a knockout game. The winner of this will advance. The loser will get to watch from the comfort of their seats in the live studio audience at QuakeCon 2023.
You make it sound so much more appealing to lose.
You get to kick your feet up, have a couple drinks. I'm just saying, think about it.
You're like, the winner has got grueling matches ahead of him for the rest of the day.
More, you gotta try really hard. It's clearly stressful.
The loser gets to enjoy the comfort of their own seats at QuakeCon. But yes, minute and a half left to go. BUKSTER in position for Mega. He's now in full control. Both of the major items have been going his way for a full rotation. And he's got that sight available as well. Can he actually capitalize off of it? Convert it into another frag? He's hanging on to it for a long time. I don't think he really knows where KELTZ is at. Probably gonna wait until after he gets heavy, more out towards the center of the map. Yep, there we go. And now, good opening rocket. 75 damage coming out. Wait for the flames to go away, make a move on Mega. BUKSTER, this is an opportunity, right? One of the biggest things that he's got to worry about, 40, is that flame strike. Jumping around the corner into a rocket flame strike combo. But now flame strike isn't up. So he needs to apply some more pressure here. He cannot allow KELTZ to just sit pretty until he's got that ability up again. Oh no! Looking the wrong way, eats a bad rocket. Just like that, KELTZ. Really not looking too shabby. Nice rocket. Wait, KELTZ is actually pushing in for Mega. What?
Oh no, 18 HP. Surely he doesn't get out of here with 25 seconds left. BUKSTER takes the frag, and KELTZ just has to run. He has shotgun. He has to push in. No flame strike. 40 damage around the corner. but I don't know. He's trying to grab a light and make something happen, but time is ticking. 13 seconds to find a frag, and BUKSTER has the vision. He can play defensive and just stay the hell away right now. Playing the telly game, might even get telly fragged here, and he's going to go through Banana in 4 seconds. The LG defensively is going to push KELTZ back, and that is it. KELTZ is eliminated.
And BUKSTER will advance. So far, BUKSTER has really had his number. 3 times they've played, 3 times
Unreal.
BUKSTER has won. Come out on top, but this was, I think, the closest one of the bunch. Came down to a single frag. I am so curious about KELTZ's thought process when he decided to move on to the Mega.
Yeah.
I really thought he was just going to back out.
Give him like 10 minutes, maybe you can ask him, but probably
Yeah, maybe,
probably
maybe.
not right now, to be fair.
No. But that was a puzzling choice because he really was just looking around and bam, rocket to the face, got stuck in the corner. I don't know about that decision, but still, well played, KELTZ. I think this was overall a very solid showing for his very first LAN. Not just Quake Pro League, not just QuakeCon showing, but his very first LAN ever. And he's made it this far. He made it out of groups. Made a good name for himself, so I'm excited to see what more he can bring in the future.
Not too bad. Lots to learn. Got good reps in, and now he can spectate and watch the rest of the show. And that's exactly what you can do, because we're going to leave and come back with more stuff. We'll see you later.